Aloha, I'm Jim Hagerman, and this is my lab. Today I'd like to talk about my TSAR face pedal, which includes two significant improvements to the classic fuzz face circuit. First, input impedance is raised, allowing it to operate anywhere in your pedal chain or to be used with humbuckers. You are no longer tied to single coils or first-in-chain restrictions. Second, I added a control loop to maintain bias. As we all know, germanium transistors are very sensitive to temperature changes. This extra pair of transistors stabilizes the circuit up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. No adjustments necessary. Other companies have tried stabilizing germanium transistors by keeping them at a constant temperature, either by heating or cooling. Both methods are very expensive and chew up a lot of power, up to 1,000 times more than my circuit. How did I do it? Let me show you. Here is a simplified schematic of the original fuzz face. It's a brilliant circuit that accomplishes so much using just a pair of transistors. Self-biased with a lot of gain, it produces a range of tones depending on how hard you drive it. First thing to note is that the input is virtually a dead short to ground, which causes it to operate in current mode. That is, a very low input impedance, at least for negative going swings. A positive swing ends up cutting off the transistor, producing a clipped output signal with a lot of even order harmonics. Here's a video showing what I mean. This is what a low E string on a guitar looks like. Through a fuzz face, it looks like this, with the bottom half of the signal radically chopped off. This is the classic fuzz face tone at medium signal levels. With a higher input impedance, input clipping is not as abrupt. Now let's look at the TSAR face response. At low signal levels, it starts out essentially clean, giving you that nice, sparkly tone. Driving it harder gets you into that classic fuzz face mode where half of the signal gets chopped off. Push it fully, and both top and bottom of waveform get clipped hard. Note duty cycle is nowhere near 50%, meaning all those warm sounding harmonic tones remain. This is hardcore fuzz. The beauty here is that you get all three modes of operation at the same time merely by altering your playing style. I've biased the TSAR face to the central mode over a wider range of input signal amplitudes, keeping you in the zone. Nevertheless, drive it super hard, say boosted by another pedal, and it continues to behave well without going bonkers. Back to the original circuit. The trick to increasing input impedance, thereby allowing pedal to be placed anywhere in your chain, or to use humbuckers, is to add this resistor in the emitter of the input transistor. Input loading increases by resistor value times current gain of that transistor. The germanium transistors I have on hand typically run into the 50 to 60 gain range, so a 1K resistor here raises input impedance to about 50 kiloohms without really changing how the circuit operates. The second trick is my bias stabilization circuit, created using a differential pair of transistors as shown. Loading of the first fuzz transistor is now effectively a current sink, much higher in resistance than the 33 kiloohm typically used in this position, thereby increasing gain a bit. The right side of the differential pair is fed with a very low pass version of the output fuzz transistor bias. I set desired bias value using the resistor divider on the left. The differential pair thus acts as a feedback engine to stabilize output bias, independent of temperature or transistor gain. That's right, I no longer have to hand select transistors to make the circuit work. Everything automatically stays in balance just beautifully. Genius is often manifested as simplicity. In this case, a very clever two-transistor circuit is completely transformed by adding two more transistors. I'm pretty sure nobody else has ever done this before, and you can buy it today in my TSAR face. Mahalo, and thanks for watching.